The Ukrainian capital of Kyiv awoke to the jarring sounds of explosions on April 24, 2025. It was a stark reminder that the brutal conflict with Russia was far from over. Russian forces launched a devastating aerial assault, unleashing a barrage of missiles and drones upon the city. The attack, the deadliest since July of the previous year, left a trail of destruction and despair in its wake. At least 12 people lost their lives and many more were injured. This latest act of aggression shattered any semblance of normalcy that Kyiv residents had tried to maintain. It served as a chilling reminder of the ever-present threat hanging over Ukraine. The unrelenting violence has left the city scarred and its people grappling with unimaginable loss. The attack on Kyiv was not an isolated incident. It was part of a broader wave of Russian aggression across Ukraine, a stark reminder that the conflict is far from over. The world watches with bated breath, hoping for a swift and peaceful resolution to this devastating war. As Kyiv reeled from the aerial assault, another Ukrainian city, Pavlograd, became the target of Russian aggression. Overnight, a Russian drone strike ripped through an apartment building, claiming the lives of 3 innocent people, including a child and a 76-year-old woman. 10 others were injured in the attack. This devastating strike on Pavlograd was just one of many carried out by Russian forces. Over 103 Shahed and decoy drones were deployed across 5 Ukrainian regions, spreading terror and destruction. These attacks targeted critical infrastructure, military positions, and civilian areas, leaving a trail of devastation in their wake. The relentless attacks on Ukraine have taken a heavy toll on the nation and its people. The human cost of this conflict is immeasurable, with countless lives lost and families torn apart. The international community continues to condemn these acts of aggression and call for a peaceful resolution to the crisis. In the wake of the devastating attacks on Kyiv, former US President Donald Trump has issued a public rebuke of Russian President Vladimir Putin. Taking to social media, Trump delivered a blunt message to the Russian leader, Vladimir, stop. He expressed his displeasure with the Kyiv attack, calling it unnecessary and poorly timed. Trump, who has maintained a close relationship with Putin throughout his presidency and beyond, emphasized the urgent need for a peace deal. He highlighted the staggering number of casualties, with an estimated 5,000 soldiers losing their lives each week. The former president's call for peace comes amidst growing international pressure on Russia to end the conflict. Trump's statement, while characteristically blunt, reflects a growing sentiment among world leaders that the conflict in Ukraine has gone on for too long. The human cost of the war continues to mount, and the potential for further escalation remains a grave concern. The recent attacks have cast a shadow over ongoing diplomatic efforts to resolve the conflict in Ukraine. Trump has been actively involved in these efforts, dispatching his envoy, Steve Witkoff, to meet with Russian officials in Moscow. These talks, described as constructive by the Kremlin, highlight the complex web of diplomacy surrounding the crisis. A key point of contention remains the status of Crimea, the Ukrainian peninsula annexed by Russia in 2014. Trump has stated that Crimea will stay with Russia, urging Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky to cede the territory in exchange for peace. He cited Crimea's historical ties to Russia, its strategic importance, and its predominantly Russian-speaking population as justification for his stance. The international community, however, largely views Russia's annexation of Crimea as illegal, and continues to support Ukraine's territorial integrity. The question of Crimea remains a major stumbling block in negotiations, and its resolution is crucial for achieving a lasting peace in the region. As the world grapples with the ongoing conflict in Ukraine, the need for a diplomatic solution has never been more urgent. The human cost of the war continues to rise, and the potential for further escalation remains a grave concern. The international community must work together to find a peaceful resolution that respects Ukraine's sovereignty and ensures the safety and security of all its citizens.